Magyar szólások és közmondások angolul beszélőknek.
Hungarian sayings and proverbs for English speakers. Lousy weather.
Kutyát is kár kiverni a házból.
So let's take this apart. Kutyá, dog. Ház, house. You'll notice in the sentence it's not quite the same as the dictionary forms. We'll be looking at why later in this video. Kiver, to drive out, to chase away. This is a good time to look at how Hungarian actually does some of its word building. Because kiver comes from ver, to beat or to thrash. The form in the sentence is kiverni, to drive out. So the ni, the ni, is the infinitive form that we've been avoiding all this time. But look what happens when you change the front. So ver to kiver, beat or to drive out. Ki being out. Bella ver, to knock or to hammer into. Bella, into. Elver, well, it's not just beating, it's giving them a really good sound beating. So on with the others. So this is quite common in Hungarian, that often you'll have a root, and by changing the prefix, you'll change the name. There's one other word in there that we need to look at. Kár. So kár is damage, loss, or wrong. You often hear it when something goes badly wrong, the person was kár. So word by word. Dog. Even, wrong, to drive out, house from. Right. Let's try it more in English. It's wrong to chase even a dog out of the house. Well, what does that mean? It means the weather is lousy. And for additional vocab, I'm going to add weather. Probably because I'm a Kiwi and weather plays a big part in our lives. It shapes the day for farmers and surfers. It can be a matter of life and death among trampers and boaties, but even townies keep an eye on the forecast, which is updated here every few hours. Our weather is extremely variable. Not only can it completely change in a few hours, but travel 10 kilometres away and the weather can be completely different. So let's get back to our Hungarian. Esik is eső, it's raining. And you think, wait a minute. We just say it's raining, 2 words. Esik is eső. Strictly, falls the rain. Oh. Or falls the snow. Blows the wind. Bakes the sun. So we would say it's raining, it's snowing, it's windy, it's sunny. But what happens when the weather gets worse? If there is a lot of rain, zuhog az eső. We'd say pouring down, hosing down, or something else that I can't say on a video on YouTube. Which is quite strange because the word zuhog actually means shower in Hungarian. Whereas a shower of rain in English is just a light amount of rain. In Hungarian, if the rain is showering, it is quite heavy. And when you have heavy rain, you also sometimes get thunder and lightning. And if you want to say it is thundering, zeng as egg. I like that. Singing the sky. It means there's a thunderstorm. Ég eső is hailstones. Now, if you have a look in there, it's actually made again of 2 words. Ég, which is ice. Eső, which is rain. So hailstones are ice rain. And if they come down, if it's a hailstorm, if it's hailing, ég eső esik. Put them all together and you have a vihar, storm. I did say we'd have a look at some of the endings on the sentence which we've been ignoring up to now. We're going to look at the accusative, which is used for the direct object of a verb. Don't go away, it's really important. A direct object is something the verb directly acts on. So you beat a dog. The dog is a direct object. Read a book. The book is a direct object. Hug a child. The child is a direct object. And these will take the accusative case. Keep in mind though, what Hungarian thinks of as direct and what English thinks of as direct don't always align. That is why eventually you have to learn which case each verb takes for whatever meaning, because sometimes the same verb will take different cases for different meanings. So you need to learn the case and the meaning. Something for you to look forward to. The indicator in Hungarian is the letter T added to the end of the word. Now we come to some of the rules. I'm only going to give you a brief overview. If the noun ends in an A or an E, you lengthen the vowel before the T. So this is what we saw at the beginning. Alma, almat. Almat, esik. Don't confuse esik and eshik. Esik is to eat. Eshik is to fall. We covered some fruit in the size doesn't matter video. Another fruit that was in that video is köte, pear. Kutyát, esik. So you'll see in both cases the final vowel, the A and the E, become long. With these vowels, it's not just the length that changes, but the sound. Alma, almat. O, a. Köte, kötét. E. If the noun ends in any other vowel, you just add the T. Kiwi, kiwit. By the way, that's eating a kiwi fruit, not a kiwi bird. Let's have a look what happens when there's a consonant at the end of the noun. So after a consonant, there is no linking vowel needed, usually for certain letters. Alcohol. I think you can work out what that one means. In this case, he drinks alcohol. He drinks beer. But suddenly we have a linking vowel. Why? And worse than that, the long E has become a short E. Why? Well, again, just something you have to learn. If there is a linking vowel, it will depend on the vowels within the noun. This is the famous vowel harmony. For both back vowel nouns, and I do say nouns because let's not go any further than that, it's an O. So we get viragot, he sees a flower. He sees a friend. And you have an E or an for front vowels. It depends on what vowels are actually in the word. So he brings the dessert. He brings the suitcase. Now we're going to look at the second suffix that was in our sentence. In Hungarian, if there is movement, real or figurative, the noun has to be marked. And movement out is marked with either böl or böl, depending on the vowels in the word. So coming out of the box is böl or böl, and the opposite is also true. You also have to mark things that come in. So in the bold cats video, we had seme be, into his eye. Let's have a few examples. I'm not going to go into this in any great depth. You climb out of the box. Notice that both the noun and the verb are marked. So masik is to climb. Kimasik is to climb out. So you have to say out, he climbs, box, from, within. The ki and the böl both have to be in the sentence to make sense. She stepped out of the restaurant. Or she left the restaurant. So it doesn't need to be ki. It just is a movement away. So elmej is to go away, not out, but away. So she leaves the restaurant. Elmegy az étteremből. Now here's a figurative one. Kings descend from his bloodline. In this case, the descend, the arise from, származik, doesn't have a key in it. But nevertheless, it does take a ből.
Kutyát is kár kiverni a házból.
It's wrong to chase even a dog out of the house. It's lousy weather and a good excuse to practice your Hungarian.